off as per usual, shaking that water off the hands. And put the elbows into it more. And then the shoulders. Okay, then put the fingertips on the shoulders, take them elbows together at the front. And reverse that. It's making big circular movements. Ooh. Okay, then we're going to do the elbows inwardly. And then outwardly. Wrists. And the other way. Ooh, I think you're clicking in all sorts of places today. So just take the head from side to side gently. No forcing it. And back to centre, ear to shoulder. And down comes the rain. Okay, take the head back to the centre, drop the chin. And gently take it back and go too far. A couple more times. Okay, take the head back to the centre, drop the chin and circle the head all the way around. And then when you get to the front, reverse that movement. And back to centre, going to take a deep breath in, bring the shoulders up to the ears, hold the breath. And breathe out, let go. 2 more times. And let go. 1 more time. And breathe out. Okay, so take a wider stance, just circle the waist. And circle in the other direction. So keeping the, as if you're circling your belly around the pole. Keep the centre upright, keep the head upright. Okay. And take us, adjust the foot, bend the knee, and let's open the hip joint up. So you can do this if you need to. You can hold onto the wall, hold onto a chair, whatever to make you safe, and you don't need to take your leg up too high. If you can, that's good, but if you can't, that's fine. And inwardly. Okay, same thing, let's turn the foot, bend the knee. Main thing is to keep your head suspended by that piece of string. So it straightens up your spine and supports you a little bit more. You can focus on something in the distance. Take it inwardly. So I used to teach boys soccer. They used to stick their fingers in their ears and do it. So they thought that helped them. I'm not terribly convinced, but I think it just was a way of distracting them from the actual movements, and therefore they were able to stand on one leg more effectively. So give it a try. Okay, so hands above the knees, push back. And bend the knees, push back. Circle the knees one way. And the other way. Okay. If you can, again, turn that foot out. Pull the weight through one leg, bend the knee. You can circle the ankle. One way, and then change to the other way. And give it a shake. Side. And change. And shake. Again, lock the palms, lock the fingers. Push your palms up to the ceiling. You're going to clench your nether regions and your abdominal muscles and go to one side. Back to the center, let go. And crunch them all together again. And back to the center. Hands in front of the chest, push the hands forward. Stretch them as far as you feel comfortable with, and then wait a moment and stretch a little bit further. Then fold at the waist. Push the palms down to the floor. Again, be careful, you're not going to fall over. Take your time. Just letting the spine open up. Okay, I'm going to grab the back of the legs, take the head down towards the shins, bend the knees, tuck the chin down, unfold. Last thing up is your head. Step out and push your hips forward. Okay, so what have we got today? So we were here last week, I believe. We're going to review what we did last week, and then we're going to start from the beginning of the form, do a few movements from that, from the 24, which has just been doing. So last week we looked at deflect, parry and punch and apparent close up. So we're going to review those. I'll just review what we did. So I'm in a T step. My left hand's above my head, my right hand is by my rib cage. Stepped out and punched on the nose. Turn the hand and foot. Pull the weight into the right leg. Step out. So I put my knee forward, change the weight forward. I'm going to punch. Opened my hand. Let the hand come underneath. Come in. Press down. Push forward. Then turned left, right, and made a big opening of their arms as if you're grabbing someone. Step in. Change the navel to the front. Straighten up. The arms come down. Step closes. I'll do that from the other way. So I'm in a T-step. Punch to the nose. Turn the hand, turn the foot. Change the weight forward, punch. Underneath the hands, palms face in. Bring the toes up, press down, and push forward. Left foot, right foot. Closing forward. moderate forwards facing, a little bit forwards to do it together. Punch. Closing form. Bear hug. Okay, so that's the end of the form, for the 24 hand form. So we're going to have a review of the start and look at the basics again. So we're going to have a look at posture, check the posture. So I'm going to stand, my feet are sort of fist width apart. I'll do this in both directions so you can see what I'm doing. My head is suspended by that piece of string. First thing I want to do is be aware of how I am. So be aware of how you're feeling. Take a few breaths. You need to find your center. So if you take your weight forward over the front part of your foot, then take your weight back over your heels, forward and back. So I'll do that from the side so you can see what I'm doing. Forwards and back. So you'll notice obviously when you go to the extremes of either of those movements that you're off balance. I'm going to take them to my left and to my right. And again, when you take them to extremes, you'll find you're off balance. So we're going to go around in a circle. To the back, to the side, to the front. Times. And then we're going to reverse that movement. So whichever way you were going, change and go to the opposite side. Okay, so having done all those movements, if you move around a little bit, you should find where you feel that there is equally weighted in your legs and that your foot is sort of spreading. So under the big toe, this obviously is my hand, not my toe, I can't, under there, under your ball of your big toe, when you've got your shoes and socks off, you'll be able to feel there's an indentation, which is an acupuncture point called bubbling spring, bubbling well. It's a kidney acupuncture point. What you're doing when you're equally weighted is that is connecting well with the floor, with the ground, with the earth. So what you're thinking of is in extending as you connect. So spreading a little bit. As you push down a little bit, which it happens to do when you bend your knees, that bit spreads. See with my hand, that's happening, similar with your foot. Okay, so you can feel that by when you step apart, be aware of that area on your foot, how it connects with the floor. So that connection, try and sink into it a little bit. So you may need to bend your knees a little bit more, still maintaining your head suspended by a piece of string. Take your awareness down to that area of your foot. Feel that area. You'll notice that if you go off center, which we were doing earlier, that is the area that feels unbalanced. Okay, your whole posture changes, you'll feel unbalanced. So you need to make sure that when you're doing all of your Tai Chi postures, that you have that sort of same sort of feeling, really. That's what's connecting you, rooting you to the ground. So in order to do that, you need to make sure that you are as if you're going to sit down. But don't. So what I'm not doing is bending my knees excessively. They do bend a little bit, but they actually bend, go outwardly. So that's happening. So as if I had a horse, so I was horse riding, you had a large horse in that area, you would have to sit with your legs outwardly. Then when you want to direct it, you will squeeze. But it's the outwardly, this is called torquing. So the legs are outwardly screwed out, which then opens up this area, forming a breach, pushes the knees out. Okay, so this is a good practice to do is the Qigong, standing, either way you want to stand, holding the ball, any of those movements, then reinforce this area and allow your sinking to be more effective. Okay, so the first movement, the other end of the spectrum, obviously, was always we talk about is that piece of string coming from the top of the head. So the first rule of Tai Chi is having that piece of string top of the head, which allows the chin to be pulled in and the spine to be erect. You're then going to look at slightly rounding your shoulders. So what that means is relaxing the shoulders. So you don't want your shoulders up high, you just want them relaxed a little bit. Loosening the waist. So this all moves together. Torso. The arms are then obviously attached to the torso, which then they will then move. So when we do the warm-up exercises, we do these this week, but these exercises are the ones which allow all this to happen. So it lets everything become loose. So it's worthwhile trying to do, if you do no Tai Chi, do anything else every day, try and do a little bit of this, because you're getting all that torso movement, all the head being suspended, all the things that you require for good Tai Chi are in that movement, in those warm-up movements. So first movement is the commencing form, and I'm going to do this from several different angles. So I'm going to step out and just lower that a little bit. So I start with my feet about fist width apart. Check my posture, check everything's aligned. Put the weight in my right leg. And I'm going to do this from the other angles with my back to you, so you'll be able to see also. Toe comes in line with the hip, heel goes down. So you're now equally weighted. Okay, so check your posture. Goes into the right leg, toe down, heel down. Go do it together. Check your posture. Weight into the right leg, toe down, heel down. You're now equally weighted. So I'm going to part of the movement. So we've got the legs, the arms will rise up, the elbows will bend, we'll push down with the hands. So from the side, the arms come up, the elbows go down. So as the arms come up, they come up to shoulder height, the elbows drop, and as my arms are coming down, I'm then going to do that little sitting motion. Rise up, legs straighten slightly, they never lock, but really straighten. Up and down. This is good exercise in itself. You can coincide your breathing with this movement. It's quite slow. So everything is all working as a one unit. So the hands come down to navel height. And breathe in, and they're coming up, and breathe out as they go down. Then they go slightly forward. As the elbows bend, they come back. Push down. So you have lots of different energies going on in here. So we've got upward pung, back nu, push down G, down. I just want you to be aware of what you're feeling. If you're feeling anything in your hands or your arms, be aware of what you're feeling. Does it feel like you're pushing your arms through something? Bring them up. But the idea is that you're sort of thinking of a resistance occurring. So the more you do this, it's a simple exercise. Try and be aware of what sensations you have in your arms, in your hands, in your legs, all over you. Okay, and have rest. So one simple movement, one posture that you do frequently can become much more challenging and understanding. So the more often you do it, the more you'll understand about it. So I would suggest that you try and do, perhaps pick one posture in a day, and particularly go through it several times through the day, starting off with commencing form. Just do, and just the more you do it, the more you will become aware of how it should be feeling and how you feel when it's happening. So we've done the 24 form all the way through, so it's time to pick up a few different things, and hopefully we'll be doing that this time round. So next movement, we've done the commencing form, we're going into T-step. So I will do it the other way around for you. T-step, hold the board. So hands, part the horse's mane is the next movement. So the hands need to be opposite each other. And again, be aware of what you're feeling. So when I say hands opposite each other, that means, as it says really, 2 points in the center of the palm, opposite each other. So you should be able to feel something in your hands if you're sensitive to those sorts of things. So if you're not, just try and relax, let everything flow a little bit more. So keep your shoulders down, keep your arms relaxed, don't close the joints to all the forms. So you're holding a ball, your hands are opposite each other, and I've got space between my arms. So I'm not holding it close to my body, I'm not holding it a long way away. It's just where it gives me that personal space. We've talked about that personal space before. So it's that bit you've got in front of you. So you don't want people getting too close to it. You don't want people getting in it. Okay, so it's however big you want it to be, but for this purpose, it's beach ball type, gym ball type. Okay, so it's that distance. So have your ball being held, hands opposite each other. And I'll do it the other way in a moment. So what happens in part of the horse's mane is called splitting. So top hand is going up towards the shoulder, the bottom hand is going slightly towards the elbow. Our lower arm is going to come round. It's a bit like throwing a frisbee. So it's the winding up. This movement is giving the impetus to the throw, except of course we're not throwing. So you've got that splitting. Part of the horse is made. Hands going opposite each other. So there's a little wind up, turn the waist. So we'll just do the hands at the moment. I'll put the legs in a moment. Turn the waist. Doesn't matter which hand you've got on top at the moment. Wind up, turn the waist. And change hands. So whichever hand you had on top before, change it over. Wind up, turn the waist. So the lower hand comes around. We end up looking at it. So it should be in the center of the body. If I do one forward facing, there we go. So that you're looking at it as if you're looking into a mirror. Okay. The other hand will end up the fingertips facing the way you're going. Okay. And again, you want a piece of space under the armpit. So don't have it up. Your armpit, your shoulder needs to be down. Space under the armpit, fingertips facing the way that you're looking. Okay. Okay. So walking, we'll review some walking. So this is a T-step. I'll sink my weight, make sure this area is open. Might help you a bit. You've got to sweep your leg round. Heel goes down, toe goes down, the knee goes forward, and the back foot. We're going to do a little bit of walking. So I think probably, hopefully you can see me that way. Yeah. So this is T-step. So at the moment the weight is in my right leg. My toe is down, left toe is down on the floor. I'm going to make an arc or semicircle. My heel. And the main thing is to make sure that you're stepping out with your foot that you've stepped out with must not be in alignment with the foot that you're putting all your weight on. Okay. So you can see in the mirror, when I put my toe down, push my knee forward, the back foot is going to turn. And they're not here. So you don't want to be balancing on a wire, on a tightrope. You need to keep your legs from being in alignment. So in order to do that, if you have, I don't know, maybe you've got some tiles or some parquet flooring of some sort at home, you can try turning so that you need to make sure that you've probably got a couple of lengths of tiling or parquet flooring between you and your other leg. Okay. This is called a bow stance. Heel down, toe down, knee forward, turn on the ball of the back foot. Okay. T-step, weight is on my right leg. Bring the left foot off the floor, it circles round, heel goes down, toe goes down, push the knee forward, turn the back foot. So it's the back foot which makes the waist turn. Okay, this gives impetus to the movement. Split. Okay, so I'm going to take a step a bit further back to see me more effectively. So weight is in the right leg, heel goes out, toe down, knee down, turn the back foot. You're going to take the front foot, toes are going to come off the floor, turn them out to the left of you, bend your knees. So I'm going to put all the weight into my left foot. So come back into T-step. Make sure your hip, your groin is open. It allows you to turn around a little more effectively. Heel down, toe down. Push the knee forward, turn the back foot. Take the right foot up, toes come up, Adjust so that they're facing more rightwardly, outwardly. Change the weight into that leg. T-step, keeping the left groin open. So my left knee is pointing toward the mirror. Heel down, toe down, knee forward, and the back foot. Okay. So I know most of you have done this before, so we should be okay. So we're going to do part the horse's mane. So this is my right hand is on top, sinking my weight into my right leg, my left leg, on its toes, T-step. So as I wind up, I step out with my heel. Okay, so we're getting that. I put my foot down, my knee goes forward. I'm going to bring turn my waist, turn my back foot. Hold the ball, T-step, hand and foot. Turn the waist, turn the back foot. Hand and foot. Turn the waist, turn the foot. Okay, so I'm going to do a few along the side there. So this is my right hand on top. Hand and foot, turn the waist. Take the weight back, turn the left foot out, hold the ball, left hand is on top. Hand and foot, rock back up a little bit, toes up, foot down, T-step. And again. So this is my right hand is on top, hold the ball, wind up. Okay, so now we're going to make sure that we're sinking downwardly. So what you've got to imagine is having an anvil on your tailbone. So what I'm not doing is bending my knees specifically. I'm sinking from this perineum, from the perineal area into the floor. So my knees will bend, but they're not bending. They're talking again, okay? So they're screwing into the floor. What I'm not doing is collapsing, making them strong. Take the weight back, turn the foot, hold the ball in T-step. And remember to have that right groin open. Hand and foot as you wind up, turn the waist, turn the foot. Take the weight back. Turn the foot, hold the ball. My left groin is open, so I'm not here, I'm here. Wind up. Turn. Okay, so I'll do the commencing form and add those movements on. I'll do it with my back to you first. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Should be able to. So put the weight on my right leg, go down, heel down. Let the arms rise up, shoulder height. Let the elbows drop, sinking as if you're sitting down. Hands come down to navel height. Right hand on top, hold the ball in T-step. Hand and foot, turn the waist, adjust the back foot. Weight back and the left foot out. T-step. Hand and foot. One more. Take the weight back, turn the right foot out. Put the weight into the right leg. Hold the ball, the right hand on top. Step out as you wind up. Turn the waist, adjust the foot. Push both hands forward, step up. Do it every time, okay? We're going to do several more. So, a few times. Okay, so step out with the left foot. You're now equally weighted. Check your posture. Make sure your piece string to the top of the head. Arms are going to rise up. Sink the legs, turn them out. Hold the ball, the right hand on top. Up the horse's back. 3 times. Put the hands forward and step up. Okay, so I'll try and do it this way so you get a different perspective. Step out. Fencing form. Hold the ball. Hand and foot. Take the weight back. Adjust the foot. Step in. T-step. Hold the ball. T-step. Hands forward and step up. Okay, so that's commencing form and part of the horse's mane. So, points to remember are: do not end up with your feet in line. You need to have a hip width apart. So it's the same as if when I stand here, I've got my hip width at shoulder length. All I'm doing realistically is stepping forward. Okay, I'm not stepping here. So when I end up in the other direction, my heel down, toe down, the distance between my legs are exactly the same. Okay, so we'll carry on with some more bits next week. And we'll be looking at the rest of the form and reviewing. So it's always good to go over the basics, because a lot of the time we get carried away in doing stuff and we need to inlay good habits in order to carry on with them. So good time to review everything. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of qigong to finish off with. So again, this is that talking I'm talking about. There you go. Push the knees open, they're hip width apart. What I mean by that is my shoulder, pelvis, knees, my ankle, all in a line. Okay. I'm going to let my arms rise up. Again, let your shoulders relax. Having that beach ball in here. So this is a good exercise. Do it while you're watching the TV. Do it while you're putting the kettle on. It'll strengthen your legs. So push your knees out. Let your tailbone sink towards the floor. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. Take a big breath, inflate everything as if you're blowing up a balloon, then let everything go. Breathing in, inflate, and breathing out, deflate. One more time. You'll find you've sunk right into your feet. You can feel that pull on the perineum being pulled down into the ground. We're just going to stand like this for a moment, being aware of that point on your sole of your foot, just underneath the ball of the toe, ball of the big toe. So this helps to strengthen your legs, helps you be aware of what's going on in your body. So again, you've got room under the armpits. This is as if you're holding a beach ball, and you remember, think of having a beach ball under each arm, which will allow you to hold the posture a little bit more. So we're out of time, so we're just going to take 3 deep breaths. So drop the hands, deep breath in, bring the hands up, palms face the body as you breathe out. Breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last one. And breathe out. Okay, so you can see half of my head, but hey ho.